Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back on GT Sport and we're back with a race that I actually did a few weeks ago, driving the SFR 15 road car. A fun car to drive, not much power, or it is very low down on the power, but this car is really tricky to drive with the tyres aired on for this. I think it was like a comfort medium or comfort soft or something like that, so it was really loose on the rear and it didn't have much power. We obviously did the revving thing at the start here, and this is pretty much the race that got me onto doing it. You can look at the difference now, because we got ourselves on a higher gear. We then just straight away breezed past P6 at the start, and look how much we're gaining on P5 straight away. I wasn't sure whether to make a move here, but I decided I'm gonna have to go for this. You know, we're side by side going into turn 1, almost there. We're pretty much side by side in the braking zone. We've got the inside line. He turns in on us. He gives us a nudge, which kind of puts me on the grass. I then give him a little nudge back. You know, Robin is racing in these cars, and he actually goes a bit wide on that corner, gets himself back on track. You can see in that top right hand corner, and we're up to P5 straight away from the start. We didn't put any practice in for this race. I just saw it on there, did the qualifying 5 minutes before the race started, went into it expecting this car to be easy to drive. It wasn't very easy, and we got ourselves an okay-ish lap within like 5 or 6 minutes, I think it was, we had left, and obviously starting P7 out of 12 cars, but straight away up to P5, and we're not running any counter steer assist. A lot of these other guys in this lobby were running it for obvious reasons with how twitchy this car is, and you can see they're going through the final corner. This corner was really tricky. I just wanted to try and make sure I get a reasonable exit coming out of this corner, as you know, the slipstream of this car was fairly strong. You know, you can see everyone fighting for that slipstream. We're a bit back at this point. You can see the cars ahead fighting away, and we're just going to try and keep it smooth, try and stay on the track, because this car was a lot harder than what it looks to drive. You know, comparing it to like GR3 and GR4s, etc., this was really tricky. You had to be careful on the brakes, be careful with the steering. Look how smooth I'm having to be with the steering inputs. It was a great fun car to drive, and I'm glad I did this race. You know, and it adds a bit of variety to the channel. We're normally doing obviously the GR3 and GR4 races, but this was great fun. You know, everyone in the same car, everyone in obviously the yellow colour. I think it was a standard car that you had just picked. I don't think many people own the car, or why everyone was in the same colour, I'm not too sure. I'm guessing it's the only colour you could get it in, obviously. And you can see there, all going through the twists and turns of the Suzuka short track that we're racing on now, and it is just great fun around there. You had to really get in the rhythm of flinging it around these corners and stepping the rear out. You can see the rear sliding slightly on the cars in front, where they're starting to push the car a little bit harder. I think a lot of the people in front were running counter steer assist. You can see the difference. If you watch my car compared to theirs, you'll see how mine's drifting quite aggressively on some of the corners in a minute when we change the camera angles. And you can see we go over the line to start lap 3, and we're still in P5, but we want to make a little bit more progress in this race, as obviously I didn't want to finish P5 because I knew that I'd probably end up losing DR finishing P5. But you can see up ahead, P2 has ran wide, and P3, so two cars running wide. We sneak in and tuck ourselves in behind the car in front of us there, and we're now in P4, so we've gained the place in that little incident there. So we're going to switch back now and look back on ourselves. We're trying to make some gains in this race, riding on board now with P3. We're there in P4, trying to keep it smooth, not trying to be too aggressive on the accelerator and on the steering inputs, because this car will snap on you. It looks easy to drive, but it wasn't easy to drive. Just trust me on that one. You'll see it as the way the car is like slightly sliding. You can see it there. The rear's just stepping out a bit. You've got to kind of glide this car through the corners, and you have to be so careful on that exit of that corner. I was trying to stay as far away from that grass as I could, because if you just caught the rear end on that grass, it would just slide the rear out. As you can see there, we're going to go to the TV replay cameras and check out this amazing little camera angle that's going to appear there. Look how close everyone is. This was great racing, really enjoyable race to be in. And you can see there, now P3 runs wide. He goes over on that AstroTurf, and that's got no grip on there, so that's another car that's lost place. And also P2 had a little error. He's got away with that, and we're going to put some pressure on him now straight away. I saw the opportunity. You know, he's struggling there. Let's put him under pressure while he was struggling, and he's going to try and go through this corner as fast as he can. He goes on the grass, he gets his rear tyre on the grass, and he's spun and into the barrier. You can see the advantage straight away. I wanted to put that pressure on, because when someone makes a mistake, the best thing you can do is put pressure on him, because it makes him panic, and he did panic. He pushed too hard through that corner, and now we're up to P2, and we need to try and defend this position now and see if we can get a good result. P1 is a little bit too far ahead, and we've got no slipstream to work with now, and obviously we've got cars attacking us from behind. So, you know, with a few laps to go, I could I straight away went defensive. I wasn't really worried about P1. You know, to get P1 from 7th place in a 7-lap race would be asking too much. So now I've just got to try and defend this P2 position that we're in. As you can see, we're going to ride on board with P3 as he's going to try and put us under pressure, and we're going to see the way this car really does slide through the corners, and you've got to just be so gentle in the way you attack the corners. You could see through turn 1, I tended to try and take a tight line into the corner to increase my exit speed. You'll see the difference now. A lot of other cars were going faster in but then slower out. I preferred the obviously going slow in and then getting smoother exits on the exit. You can see there, using all the curbs that we can use to try and get this car through these corners as fast as possible. Went a little bit aggressive through that corner, but we lined it up for this corner reasonably well and got the car back online. Going nice and tight into this right hander now, nice and tight there, gives you a better entry into the next corner. So you can see I'm trying to flick the car through the corners. You can see the rear stepping out, and it's just a real fun car to drive as we get a sideways action going through that corner, and again coming through this final corner. Great fun and really enjoyable to drive. I did enjoy this car. As we're going to try and push through this final corner, we got on the grass very slightly and we nearly lost the rear end there. You could see so close there, that rear tyre just skimming onto the grass as we move on board with the TV replay cameras as we go over the line, and we're starting the last section of the race now. Try and hold on to this P2. You know, this was quite hard. They obviously getting the slipstream. We've got the 4 or 5 cars in now battling for this one position. You can see there's 5 cars involved with this battle for P2. This is great racing, and again highlighting why we love GT Sport. You know, if anyone watched that Nations Cup race on the FIA event that was on the official Gran Turismo channel last night, it was amazing. You know, the quality of the racing, the broadcast, everything about it was great. Just a few minor things that I would personally change, but a really good event, and it shows you how good this game is when you've got racers that respect each other. As we're all going through the twists and turns now of Suzuka, trying to hold on to that position. You can see we managed to build up a little bit of a lead as we're really pushing through this lap. You can see the way the car's swinging and really leaning on the suspension and showing the suspension physics at work on the game there, and it's a great fun car to drive. I will be trying to do more variety in the cars I pick for, you know, bringing you guys some racing to the channel. You know, we don't always want to be doing GR3, GR4, etc. I seen this car a few weeks ago. I did the race. I've just been waiting to get it all uploaded. So you can see there now, going into turn 1, we're way behind P1, but you know, we're trying to defend and push at the same time. So we're going to be losing time to him. And obviously, we hadn't done any practice for this race. This was just a race where we jumped on and tried to do okay. And you can see now we're on the final lap, and we're just going to try and hold this position and get ourselves a nice P2 starting from P7. It'll be a great result, as you can see there. Just trying to keep it smooth now, not pushing too hard. Like I say, not worrying about P1. We didn't have the pace to do it. You know, we haven't practiced it. We just jumped on for a race, and I only did this one race because it was such a good fun race. I didn't really feel I needed to go back on and try and get more footage. So you can see now going through these final twists and turns of the Suzuka sprint track, and we're just about in P2, going through the final corner. Pushed a little bit too hard there. I had to back off, and then again on the final corner I didn't want to push too hard there with obviously the risk of running on the grass, and we bogged down a bit of the way we took the corner, and he's getting closer onto the line, but we just about take that P2, and a really fun race. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I enjoyed it. It was a great race to be involved with, and it was something different to drive. I did enjoy driving that car. It was fun and it was tricky to drive, and it really did test the skills of the driver. So if you enjoyed that video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I do appreciate every single person that gives a thumbs up on these videos. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button and the notification button so you don't miss any future videos. You know, we're uploading every single day on GT Sport, whether it's a race, information on the game, etc. So we are trying to keep this every single day. Also, every now and then we're going to be doing multiple uploads. Like today, we've also got the FIA race from last night that we will be uploading later, taking place at Brands Hatch. It was a very competitive race. Had some of the fastest drivers on the game in that race, including TRL Lightning, you know, probably the fastest driver on the game in my opinion. A great driver, and it was a great race. So obviously make sure you click that notification button so you don't miss any future videos if you haven't already subscribed, and we'll be back very soon with more videos on the game. Thanks again for watching, everyone.